Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night. IU and Purdue met on the hardwood, this time in women's action right here at Assembly Hall. Let's get out to the action. Good ball movement from the Boilers as Fakara Malone opens the game with a three-pointer from the corner for the Boilers. Now, minutes later, it would be Aaron Lawless down low with the crafty little layup here. Advantage Purdue early on. And Katie Geralds, she would pour it on for the Boilers with a nice jumper, and all of a sudden, the black and gold are up 7-0. So how did our girls finally get on the board? They're called free throws. They're practically free. But as I learned in YMCA ball, you simply must get back on defense. Katie Geralds from deep, she's heating up. But the Hoosier girls don't know the definition of the word quit or the word give up, which is actually two words. Nikki Smith hits back-to-back J's, and it's 13-8 all of a sudden in this one. Ladies and gents, we have us a ball game, but later on Kim Roberson drives in the lane and gets nothing. But that's okay because Leah Enterline from downtown, yes! And is that Jamie Braun driving the lane or perhaps Michael Jordan? The answer, it's Jamie Braun. The Hoosiers could have used his airness down the stretch, though, as Billington misses and Nikki Smith gets jacked up. Second half now, Jody Howell opens things up with a three-pointer for the Boilers, and from there on, things got UGLY for the Hoosiers on both ends, and to be honest, they didn't have no alibi. It was ugly. Yeah, it was ugly. Hilton knocks down a jumper and another one, and then Gerald will top things off for the Boilers right here with a baseline J. Down a mere 22 points, Whitney Thomas, God bless her, is still playing her heart out. She is going to get back-to-back scores here down low. But as JoJo would say, it was too little, too late. Poor shooting plus poor defense equals a lopsided home loss. Former coach Versup goes 2-0 against the Hoosiers this year, and IU falls to Purdue by a score of 81-58. In the defeat, the Hoosiers saw big games from Whitney Thomas and Jamie Braun, who both finished with double-doubles. Thomas had a team-high 17 points and brought down 10 boards, and Braun had 12 points to go along with her 10 boards as well. The Boilers got a big game out of Katie Geralds, who finished with 21. Lindsay Wisdom Hilton posted a double-double with 15 points and 10 rebounds.
So the season must march on, and the Lady Hoosiers will put the tough loss behind them as they face off against another Big Ten opponent. At number 5 in the nation, Ohio State seems to have a top 10 team in just about every sport. Traveling to Columbus to take on the Buckeyes will be a tough one for the Hoosiers. Coach Jack will need intensity out of her young stars, Whitney Thomas and Jamie Braun, and better defense than the Swiss cheese they put up against Purdue. A couple key players on the IU wrestling team were arrested last week, stemming from an incident that occurred on December 3rd near Kilroy Sports Bar. Eric Cameron, who was hospitalized after jumping off a parking garage, was arrested for a slew of misdemeanors and is no longer active with the team. Suspended from the team are Jose Escobedo and Ted Strikalski. Escobedo was arrested for battery, a Class C felony. No word on when the wrestlers will be prosecuted or how long the suspensions are for.
Indiana wrestling had a huge matchup last weekend against their arch-rival Purdue. Despite the off-the-mat issues concerning this team, they were still able to come up with a huge 25-12 victory to improve their record to 10-0 overall on the year. The star Angel Escobedo won his match over Purdue's Brandon Tucker 21-6, improving his overall record to 24-2 on the season. The Hoosiers' Andre Hernandez also dominated, earning a 12-1 major decision, setting the tone for this match. The win came at a perfect time for Indiana as next up they would have to face off against another ranked opponent in Illinois. But first, let's go out to University Gym where our own Sean Ryan Johnson has more on the victory.
The IU wrestling team opened up its Big Ten Conference season with a win against in-state rival Purdue. The Hoosier fans truly packed the house tonight as they showed their support for the wrestling team.
To have the motivation from the fans, a lot of guys, they'll be on the brink of giving up, or, all they got to do is push a little bit harder, and the fans really help with something like that.
The Hoosiers defeated the Boilermakers in a dominating fashion tonight, winning 25-12 with Angel Escobedo and Mark Bennett coming up with big wins. Escobedo, who is ranked number 9th in the country and a redshirt freshman, came up with a 20-6 decision, which increased his record to 24-2 overall this season. Mark Bennett came with a fall in the third period of his match, giving the Hoosiers big points late in the match when they needed them.
They did. They really stepped up, and they understand, both Indiana kids, and they understand the importance of an Indiana-Purdue dual meet.
I think my coaches hold a big key success to my, to me doing so well this year, and also my teammates from pushing me at practice. And I think just going over films and trying to get better every day is what's been helpful.
Coach Goldman, who was happy with his team's performance overall, still says that there's room to improve on for his team this season as they go down the Big Ten stretch.
Now we're in the Big Ten, and every team you wrestle is ranked in the top 20 in the country, so they're going to get tougher. And as I say, we got our work cut out for us. We need to be ready to go in there and wrestle our best and be ready to win, because you got to find ways to win, not ways to lose.
The Hoosiers, who will be on the road this weekend, start off against number 16 ranked University of Illinois Fighting Illini. Angel Escobedo, who will face number 11 Gabe Flores, who is undefeated on this season so far, says that this will be one of his toughest matches for him this season and can be a big win for him, especially coming towards the national scene in March.
And I think this is going to be a big placement of how I'm going to do this season, and also nationals. I'm going to have quality opponents that are undefeated, and just going out there and training hard and being mentally prepared.
You have a lot to work for, and it won't be easy.
Again, the Hoosiers win big 25-12 against in-state rival Purdue. From University Gym in Bloomington, I'm Sean Johnson, Hoosier Sports Night.
The Hoosiers' new matches in the Big Ten weren't going to be easy. They found out firsthand at Illinois last weekend as they were defeated by the 16th ranked Illini 22-9. Down early, Illinois bounced back, winning 4 out of 5 matches that showcased ranked wrestlers. Indiana's Matt Coughlin lost his second consecutive 1-point loss to a ranked opponent, going down 4-3. The Hoosiers came up short in the marquee matchup, which featured IU's 2-time All-American Brandon Becker versus top-ranked Mike Pita. Becker's defeat was the clincher for Illinois. The Hoosiers will look to bounce back on Sunday when they head to Columbus to square off against Ohio State. The loss to Illinois was IU's first of the season, dropping their record to 10-1 and 1-1 in the conference. IU currently sits in the 6th place. 5 teams are tied for first at 2-0, but conference play has only just begun in the best league in the nation, and a lot of shuffling should occur all season. 6 of IU's next 7 meets are against conference opponents before the Big Ten championships begin on March 3rd. We're going to go ahead and head to break here on Hoosier Sports Night, but make sure you come back. We'll have some more men's basketball news.